I have made some changes, and it looks like I need to make some more changes. So I'm going to turn this down. And see if that works. I don't know if I'm streaming or not right now. I think I am. It's working! Alright. But frames are dropping, which means I need to change some settings. So, if we do that, I wonder what that does. Does that make frames drop? I don't know. If anybody's out there, let me know what the quality looks like. Laggy. Okay, thanks, Nico. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to kind of looking at as well. Is it's laggy. It says it's dropping frames, which I'm new to this, obviously. So it says that I'm still dropping frames. Little fuzzy. Yeah, I'm kind of fuzzy though. I'm like Bigfoot. You know, I'm just fuzzy. So I changed some stuff around, and I'm going to be curious to see how that works. So I'm still dropping frames, which means it's still lagging. So I need to address that. How to do that? I think it's a setting on my end. I can't really go down any lower on the bit rate. Is it still laggy? Yeah, I am. I'm kind of in front of a green screen. It's actually just an application. So I'm actually not. I'm just in my office. Hey, Digsan, how you doing, man? Any feedback? Am I still laggy? It looks like yeah. It says I keep on dropping frames, but I don't. Oh. Here's a setting up here I can maybe try. Resolution. Oh. Frame rate. I don't know. Let's see. I might have to try this again. Is it still voice is fine, video is just laggy? Okay, that's good. That's good to know. So if I were to, I was just kind of screwing around a little bit, but if I were to do a quick little test run and just throw some pictures out there. What's up, John? Spencer. So right now we're looking at a big motor. This is at the power plant, one of my favorite places to teach. I'm still kind of looking down because I'm hoping I can get some feedback regarding lag. So as I'm looking here, I'm going to go to one that I can point at. This was what we would call a near miss in NFPA 70E. This was an accident that nearly happened and indeed would have been a terrible accident. If you're not familiar with what this is, medium voltage circuit breaker. And these things get racked into place. You crank them in, and these are the contacts, like the line and the load side of the circuit breaker. You crank them in, and that's how they interface with the switch gear or switchboard. And somebody had left this piece of metal here laying across that, and if somebody wouldn't have noticed, somebody could have racked that in with that piece of metal going phase to phase on a 12,470 volt circuit breaker, and there very well could have been a dead body. So anyway, I'm just kind of talking and looking at Facebook as I go. hoping to get some more feedback. So, how's the lag and everything, guys? Are we doing okay on that end? Should I probably ought to change where I am here. Let's see. I'm going to go to this new location. I look like 80s porn. I don't know what that means. So, not seeing, can't see the pic. Really? So, oh, I'm an idiot. God, okay, yeah, of course you can't see the pic. Stupid. There, now you can see the pic. Okay, so now you can see the pic. You can see this metal bar here that was laying across there. So yeah, that's what would have been the concern. Bob, you're asking what's this all about? This is just me testing some settings, man. Trying some new stuff and seeing if it's going to work. I'm trying to simultaneously broadcast over a couple of different platforms: YouTube Live, Facebook Live, and Facebook Live on a different page. So I'm using a new software. Not bad on your end. Thanks, Frank. Thanks, Sean. Lag seems okay. The video is kind of choppy. Okay. Good. I appreciate it. I'm not positive that I'm streaming. Can one of you guys do me a favor? Can one of you check my YouTube page and see if I'm... yeah, I am, Bob. I'm gonna stream tonight at 8:30 Eastern. Can somebody check my YouTube page and see if I'm on YouTube? Because from what I can tell, I'm not. But I'm not positive. I don't know. Yes, I am. Okay, cool. Good. So it is working. It is broadcasting. I just want to kind of keep on keeping on for a minute. Some of my favorite pictures here is what I decided to do for just a few minutes while I'm testing it. This is the thaw shed at the power plant. Some of you guys have heard me talk about this. Coolest thing ever. At the power plant, it's a coal burning plant, so when they're up at full operation, 1900 megawatts, they burn through 1.5 trains of coal every day. And when the train gets in the middle of January or something, it's frozen because it's in central Utah. And they have to thaw the coal out before they can do anything with it. Just the weight of the ice is a major problem, and it's sticking together, and it's just, you can't work with it frozen. So how do you thaw an entire train full of ice, or of frozen coal? Run it through the thaw shed. This is fixed resistance heating, just like you would have in a baseboard or your toaster oven. It's all 480 volt, and it's 5 million watts. So they run that thing through there, and 5 million watts later, you have a train. Better with the split screens. I don't know what better with the split screens mean. Is that what we're looking at right now? Is that what you mean by that? Where you've got me in the corner, and it looks like I'm not dropping frames now. So whatever I did seems to be working. Another one of my favorite places to teach is at the ski resort, snowboard ski resort. They did some of the 2002 Winter Olympics there, and this is the engine that drives the tram, and these are the pulleys, and you've got the massive cable that pulls the tram up the mountain, and it's such a beautiful motor that they decided to kind of make it a showpiece. So you might see back here that it's all enclosed in glass. And why not? You know, they show this thing off, and they should, because it's drop dead. I mean, it is seriously, it's gorgeous. So around that, they built a restaurant around the equipment room. So here you've got like a massive VFD back here. This, believe it or not, is an auto transformer, because this is a 600 volt motor. This is not medium voltage. This is actually a 600 volt DC motor, if I'm not mistaken. So they bring in 480, hit a buck boost transformer, an auto transformer, kick it up to 600, change it over to DC, and that's how they run that DC motor. These are some of the cables on the cable for the tram, and that's kind of another look at it. So again, just kind of looking through some of my favorite pics as we go here. Any comments, guys? I would love to have. That's awesome. Okay, so Craig, thank you. Obviously, it's working. So, one of the funniest things about teaching at this place, you go to like the hotel, and the hotel was built in, I think, 72, give or take. And if you know me, like a big part of my job now is taking pictures of stuff. So when I travel, I'm always taking pictures, and all my vacation pictures are pictures of Transformers and things. But I was touring the hotel with the guys when I was teaching there, and in the middle of the hotel, there's an electrical room like there is in every hotel. You walk in there, and there's a panel board and a switchboard, regular electrical room stuff. And then there's this door in the electrical room. And it's like, okay, what is behind this door, man? I mean, it's like, okay, the electrical room door is locked, obviously. And then once you're in the electrical room, you have this door that leads you to the holiest of holies in the electrical room. So it's got, they added a lock. The whole thing is locked out. You don't go in there. And of course, they let me in there. And I was floored. I walked in, and it's like, okay, there's your 25,000 volt transformer on the second floor of a hotel, right there. So that was pretty surprising. Yeah, Craig. I'm telling you, man, the people at the restaurant, they love it. It's such a cool motor, and when that thing fires up and the cable starts moving and everything, you're mesmerized. It's just so gorgeous. It's really cool. Again, a couple more of my favorite picks. This is at a testing center in New York. This is Intertek's testing lab. I had the great pleasure of teaching a hazardous locations seminar for their hazardous locations testing team. And we had a great time. Their engineers were there and everything. And we walked out to basically a boom room is what you would call it. It's where they test hazardous locations equipment. It's a building outside that is designed to withstand being blown apart. It's pretty small. Out here, you've got all sorts of different gases. When you're testing your hazardous locations equipment, you're going to test it for gasoline and butane and ethyl ether and maybe acetylene, whatever gases you need to test, they have to have on site. So they've got all these different gases. And what they do when they test hazardous locations equipment, it's pretty much a pass or fail. So here we have a hazardous locations fire alarm pull station. And what you would do, this is at that facility now, what you would do is you would fill the room full of gas, and then inside of here, you would put a spark plug while you're testing it, and then you shut the doors. Actually, first thing you do, let me back up. First thing you do is you call all the neighbors within miles, and you let them know that you're testing that day. So when they hear a bomb go off, and by the way, they learned that the hard way. So you call the neighbors just in case it does go south. And then they put the horn out and everything, and it's like watching a movie from the 50s with the air raid sirens, So all these bells and whistles are going off. They fill the room full of gas. They ignite the spark plug from a remote location, and we wait and see if it blows up. Does the building blow up? If it does, you fail. If it doesn't blow up, then guess what? Your equipment is explosion proof. Congratulations. Of course, now you've got a building full of acetylene gas, so what are you going to do about that? Well, you got to blow it up. There's not much you can do about that. So they blow this building up all the time. What's tonight streaming on? Is it going to be on hazardous locations, Bob? No, man. This is going to be on NM Cable. So everything you want to know about Article 334, but we're afraid to ask. Guys, give me some input, man. How's the stream going? YouTubers, I wonder if there's any comments. How would I find the comments on YouTube? There we go. Yep, still lagging. Yes, good. Lag was much worse when I was full screen. Okay, cool. Guys, thanks so much, man. I have the best people in the industry. I really appreciate it. Thank you. So, a couple more picks, and then I'm gonna wrap up, and we'll do the thing tonight at 8:30 Eastern, 6:30 my time, 5:30 Pacific. Here is a place in Harriman, Utah. As luck would have it, this is seriously half hour from where I live, maybe less. And it is, to my knowledge, the first virtual power plant in the United States. And what it is it's a 600 unit apartment complex, and they've got solar PV everywhere, and that's not new. There's a lot of apartment complexes that do that. But what's unique about this is that the utility, Rocky Mountain Power, actually fronted a lot of money for the initial investment of this project, which seems kind of odd. Why would the utility be paying for this? Well, because the utility has 50% ownership of all of the energy there. So they create energy, they store it. Every unit has one of these Sonnen battery systems. I don't expect you to be able to read that, but it's a pretty substantial battery unit in each individual unit. And what's cool is the utility. See, here's the problem with one of the problems with solar. When you're creating electrical energy through photovoltaics, it's in the middle of the daytime, right when the sun's out, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. When the utility needs your power is when the sun goes down. When everybody gets off work, fires up their air conditioner and their ovens and everything else. So when they want your power, you're not producing power. So what they're doing here is they make the power, they store it, and then the utility gets 50% of the capacity. Hey, they bought it. They paid for it. You know what I mean? So the utility, at the push of a button, they can discharge all 600 units and actually create a virtual power plant. So it's quite cool. This is the name of the place is the Soliel Lofts, I think is how you say it. Soliel Lofts. If you're interested, there's a bunch of stories about it on the internet. Just freaky luck that I happen to live right by it. So that's kind of what the units will look like, and as you can imagine, there's all sorts of different things that you have to shut off to satisfy the code. You've got your rapid shutdown, all of the warning labels. PV is installed on all the meters except for the house panel. You've got parallel generation on all the meters. You've got utility grid. You've got PV alternating current to shut down the battery backup. It's seriously, it's a long list, and they did a terrific job of clearly indicating how you shut it off, for safety. So anyway, with that said, just went through, a few of my favorite little picks. I wonder if you guys have any thoughts one way or the other on my background. I kind of like this one here, where I'm sitting in the power plant. I was thinking about being in a house today. I was considering being at Snowbird, but I'm not in love with that pick. I was thinking about some various equipment rooms, maybe sitting in front of one of these big generators here, or a control room at the power plant, or maybe just a motor control center like this one. So I don't know. I should do a joke one too. Yeah, I figure out a good background for me, Bob, to use. Something that's G-rated. Thank you very much. And it would be awesome. Great idea. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Well, good. I'm glad to hear that this went okay. I think so far, I kind of like this background here. I think. So anyway. Yeah, Trump press conference. There you go. Yeah, I'll be at the press conference. All right. It looks like my settings are good. I have stopped dropping frames, so that's a good thing. I appreciate all of the input. I will see you guys later tonight. Again, 8:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. The topic is NM cable, NM sheath cable, Article 334. We're going to start at 334.1 and go right through 334.112, I think. Okay, guys, I'm going to shut her down. Thanks again for all of your input. I really appreciate it.